good day, Tamers. Normally I'd have waited till the end of the season for this, but this is going out the day before we know what's going to happen with the Impmon Line, as that is all we are currently waiting for now and a few extra alternate arts. But time is of an essence, so we're going to go through this what we can, and then I will add the extra bits probably in a short, just for you guys to see. But I'm looking forward to see what the Impmon Line does for us, because I'm a massive Beelzemon fan, and if we can sort of sneak them in together, it'll be fine. Or if Mildramon could make use of these cards, I'll also happily shove them together and see what diabolical schemes I can make with such a deck. But we're going to go through this first. We're going to do Demi-Meramon here, this cute little guy here. Your turn, while your opponent has one or less Digimon. This Digimon gets 2000 DP. I like 2000 DP, that's pretty good. And if we do go back into a single stack meta, this makes sense. And generally you are popping a lot of things on the field if you are running red or yellow at the moment. So it could come up in some sort of decks, but I do think we have better red babies at the moment still. Going into the new blue baby. When attacking once per turn, if your opponent has no Digimon with illusion cards, draw one. I'd probably still want to run 1 year over this, to be fair, because if you can dictate when you're always going to be able to draw a card if you've got a blue Tamer in play. And since this is a blue deck, you probably will have a blue Tamer in play. Kairamon? I don't know why I paused there. Kairamon. All turns, all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 2000 TP. I don't dislike this because generally we've noticed that with a lot of the yellow decks they are generally lower in power. So it makes it easy for you to get in when you can. But I do think you're probably still going to be running the BT13 one that gives you jamming if you pop your own security and then recover a security and then do anything with your security because you've got something with your security happening. So, jamming. Then we got Fluffymon, this cute little bundle of joy here. I'm super looking forward to this deck when we get to it, so September can't get here quick enough. Your turn once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, gain the memory. Since this deck does want to do that, it's going to be quite possible to make this your 4 of the 5, or 1 of the 4 if you prefer. I think we do have to sort of get some playtesting done with this first before we decide which way to go, but both of the babies are very good, as you can see from the other video we did a while back for the decks. We have the Caporiamon. When an effect places an option card with the 3 Musketeers traits in this Digimon distribution cards, gain 1 memory. Fantastic, that's awesome because it makes those 6 cost option cards 5 cost now, at least once per turn. But generally, you're not going to have more than 5 memory per your side, right? Right? Maybe. We go into the new Yaman. When attacking once per turn, if you have 4 or fewer Digimon. Try again. When attacking once per turn, if you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait in the trash. If this deck does throw trash away very quickly, which you might do, because we haven't really seen the rest of it yet, this will be pretty good to start going up into your Dark Dragons and your Evil Dragons, as a lot of the EX stuff for Guilmon is Dark Dragon, although it's also Cyborg. So the issue you're going to have here is probably the level 5 being the opposite level 5, although just Digivolving into the Wargroundmon and then being able to use this effect to go into Megidra maybe would be pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what we can actually build with these new cards. Then we have the new Vorvormon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Rock Dragon, Earth Dragon, Machine Dragon, or Sky Dragon traits, and 1 Hina amongst them to the hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then as a heritage effect, you do get 2000 DP per turn. A lot of people are upset with this card because obviously a lot of people were hoping for a new Hina. Unfortunately, that was not going to happen right now. Right then, so we go into Toyagumon, which is one of the 3 Musketeer cards. You can Digivolve from a 3 Musketeer card and takes for cost 0, which is the Capori, I believe. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with 3 Musketeers, Inix, text, and 1 option card with the cost of 6 amongst them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Very good. There are other 6 cost option cards that may want to be played in this deck now that aren't the 3 Musketeers. But as far as I'm aware, you probably will be sticking to the 3 Musketeer cards. And then maybe whatever that one is, that's Plumon's option card, that's like a 6 cost. I think that's pretty good if I remember correctly. Lavoromon. On play, return 1 card with the Machine Dragon or Sky Dragon traits, or 1 Hina you can trust to your hand. So basically that's the other side of the deck. And then when Digivolving, if you have 1 or less Tamers, you may play 1 Hina, remember paying the cost. A lot of people are saying they've noticed that the level 4s now play 1 or less Tamers on the field, which is really good because quite a few of these decks want you to have 2 Tamers in the field so they can interact with each other, especially things like the Galemon deck. Like that really wants you to have both Tamers because it wants to make you attack and then you want to suspend itself into going into your opponents. Very good cards, but we'll get to them later, I do suppose. DIGIMON, but this time in red, because I think last time it was in black, right? It's been a while. Level 3, with Musketeers and its traits cost of 2, although it just Digivolve from a level 2. Level 3 for a cost of 2. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, you may trash 1 option card in 1 Digimon's distribution cards. Your turn, this Digimon gets the free Musketeer trait. It's been a while since we did one of those, right? Where it was, you can consider this on your turn. And then Inherited is get 2000 DP, which is not too bad, because I do think most of these are quite squishy, despite the fact they're all guns. And then Digimon, on play or Digivolving, you may place 1 option card with the free Musketeers traits from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom distribution card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. Pretty good, gets rid of most blockers at level 4, or gets rid of the searchers off the field. But then you get Piercing as an inherited effect. The annoying thing for me with this card is, even though Piercing is good and Piercing is something you might want, especially with the other one currently available for Machine Dramon, I think we've already got one that's Piercing, and like, you've already got Metal Greymons that have Piercing, so not necessarily the greatest thing. If there was a good Musketeer card to put in Machine Dramon, maybe we consider it in the future. La Vogaritamon. I love this line, if you've ever seen me do the old stuff from the original series. On play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. When Digivolving, if your opponent doesn't have a Digimon with 6000 DP or less, gain a memory. That's awesome. So if I can't pop something, it only costs me 2, which is a callback to the old card. And then Security Attack +1 in its sources as an inherited effect, which is fantastic. Because that's also very much what the old deck used to be. Very cheap evolution, go up into like War, Greymon, and then swing for like 4. And then your opponent be like, oh, no, I wasn't expecting this. It's like, yeah, no one ever is. Alright, let's go. On play, when Digivolving, you may use 1 option card with the free Musketeer traits from your hand without paying the cost. Then draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, which could be very good or very bad depending on the situation. End of your turn was returned by trashing 1 option card with the Digimon's distribution cards or one of your Digimon with the free Musketeer traits. Gain Security Attack +1 for the turn and attacks, which again is pretty good because generally being such a high cost as this is, it's nice to be able to put down a body and then use it to actually attack with. Volcanidramon. On play, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Oh, and we'll also remember, this isn't once per turn either. When Digivolving, your opponent can't play or move Digimon with 6000 DP or less until the end of their turn. So they can't come out the breeding area if they're like a level 4, basically, it has to be level 5. All turns was returned when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effects. You may play 1 Digimon card with the Machine or Sky Dragon traits from your hand without paying the cost. If you aren't aware, this deck now floats into the other side. So, yeah, you've seen a lot of lists from Japan that are trying to make this work currently, or obviously people are like playtesting. They are running like 4 of each of the megas now. So, 16 megas that are just floating through each other is really weird, but obviously if that's how the deck wants you to play, that's how you're going to play the deck. Ottomon! All turns players can't reduce play costs. It's been a while. A Balukamon. On play, reveal top 3 cards to your deck, add 1 card with Peldramon or Hexablaumon in its name, and 1 card with the Ice Snow trait, which I believe for us is Ironclad, or is that the ability Ironclad? Amongst them to the hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck. Obviously, you can search yourself, and it obviously searches top end, which is really good because we've already got Bluecommons before, which are okay, but having a searcher that just searches like 2 things from your sources that you're going to need for the stack is just amazing. So, good job. If we can get a tamer that says, was it Snow? Ice Snow? We got it around the winner here. And then, when attacking was per turn, trust the top distribution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, which is really good because generally, if they're like a level, if they're a 6 or a 4 or a 5, whatever, generally that thing underneath is going to be the big thing. But no, very good. Soul stripping is always what this deck wants to do, and it's just amazing. Iceclad, this is it. Iceclad is the key word. I can't wait for this to come out because memes are fun. So Iceclad, this Digimon compares its number of sources rather than its DP when battles other than security Digimon. So obviously you use this to attack Digimon on the field that are single sourced or no sources. And don't use it really for hitting security unless you really have to. And then when attacking once per turn, trust the top digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Again, because these both seem to be like paired Digimon, that makes sense that both of these cards will be doing the same things. Which again, this deck wants to strip sources. More amphibians. Although this is more the NSP deck that we're going to be getting in the future. On play when Digivolving, draw 1, which is pretty good, and then jamming as inherited, which is also really good. As you've noticed that we're having lots of level 4s now. Always some level 3s that do give jamming, which is powerful, to say the least. Sorcerer Man has blocker, and then on play, if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Yeah, pretty good to me. Also is a Ice Snow type, and then when attacking once per turn, trash the top Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. As you can see, we can just continue the trade of just having, stripping all the sources. That's what you get. Builderman. Who's also an Ice Snow type. When Digivolving, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains jamming and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn, and has Ice Snow. Then when taking once per turn, trash the top Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Again, everything about this Digimon just wants to strip your sources, and then you'll be stuck at that, and then Ice Clad will just come up and chop you in the back of the neck. We then have Cry's Pelderon, which also has Ice Clad. Then when Digivolving, trash any 2 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, unsuspend this Digimon, which is pretty good. Obviously, the only issue you have, though, is that means you have to fight with your one, but it has jamming, so maybe not such a big issue, he says. Then your turn, while your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, this Digimon with the Ice Snow trait gains piercing and secures +1. The only thing I'm hoping for is that this is worded the same way as Majuramon from BT6, where it's like, if there's no Digimon on the field and it doesn't have, or sources are on the field, then you can still get the bonuses. Because that was the issue with the original stuff, that it didn't have that same text line. Or grammared the same way, because, you know, why not? Shogun Gekomon. On play, one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. Or, at your turn, all of your Digimon with the NSP trait can't have their attack target changed. It's not amazing by any means, but, like, there's certainly some decks out there now that want you to change directions. And Hexablow, yes, we only got 1 blue mega for this set. There's a lot of text. Hexablow, if you don't know, Hexablow is fantastic. If you didn't notice, the market has basically pooped out all the alternate arts from the original Hexablow that came out in BT11, which was it's a weird set anyway, but it's good to find some value in it. And hope you got your copies from BT5, because they'll be going if this deck actually is good. Secure attack +1 and Ice Clad. And then when Digivolving, trash any 4 Digivolution cards of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's opponent's Tamers to the bottom of the deck. Opponent's turn, none of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as Digimon can suspend. So, who needs blocker when your opponents can't attack? Hey? And it also has the Ice Snow type. So, theoretically, I believe from what we saw from this guy, if you really wanted to, you could literally grab 2 Hexablow ones. Schumann here, going to yellow, doing this really quickly. Your turn, when this Digimon will Digivolve into a Digimon card with the puppet trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Fantastic, because that's probably going to make it a 1-cost Digivolution. And then all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3000 DP. It's very much going to be a case of, you won't have to run the jamming stuff anymore, because all your stuff now will just basically let you kick into security for like they're like 1000 DP, so you'd have to worry about it. Schumann. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or less Tamers, you may play 1 Arise from your hand without paying the cost. And then again, all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3000 DP. So, already very effective at making it so your opponent's Digimon don't have any DP in security. On play when Digivolving, it's also got the NSP trait, cost of 2. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. It has Barrier as an inherited effect, which is pretty good, but not necessarily something you'd be wanting. Although the new NSP deck does look to be some kind of like Hunters or X-Cross style deck, where it's going to be like every single different colour here can be an SP kind of thing, and then it just makes one big deck, which is maybe it's a deck that works like pre-release decks, where there just can be any colour in the deck and it just kind of works basically kind of thing. Chaperonemon. I still wish it was called like Red Riding Hoodmon or Red Riding Mon. Overclock, puppet trait. at the end of your turn by deleting one of your tokens or one of your other Digimon with the puppet trait. This Digimon attacks a player without suspending. When Digivolving, you may play one level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost. Now, for those of you who haven't seen, a lot of people are looking at the Chessmon line for this as the secondary stuff, because it works very well in this deck, as all puppets do. And then also return when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, by deleting one of your tokens or one of your other Digimon with the puppet traits, prevent it from leaving. Very good. Very, very good. So, as you can see, it's very, very powerful. We've got a yellow Piximon. I think this is our second yellow Piximon. I know we've had at least 2 Piximons in the past. One's going to be green, right? On deletion, you may play one yellow or one NSP traded Digimon card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying the cost. When attacking must return, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. It's okay. Like I said, if the NSP deck actually gets good, you just need like a decent level 5, and this is the best you've got. Like, it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's a card, right? It does its things. Oh yeah, got the big NSP Digimon now. Saber Leomon. Digivolves 5 from an NSP traded or a Leomon in name for a cost of 3. Like, it's nice that you got, obviously has like a double wave evolving without murdering your bank account. Yellow and green Digimon's very good. Hand Counter Blast, you can choose whatever things here, as you know how Hand Counter Blast works now. I'll play when Digivolving 2 of your opponent's suspended Digimon, get a minus 8,000 DP until the end of your turn. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has no suspended Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. I would suggest, because obviously when Digivolving effects can trigger the way you want them to, you suspend your opponent's stuff if it isn't suspended. Although technically one of them will always be suspended, because to activate the blast counter effect you'd have to be attacked by your opponent. So they swing in with one thing, do the Digivolve effect, suspend the other thing on the field if they've got 2 things, then give them both 8,000 DP reduction, and praise the Lord if you get to survive the turn. I like this. A lot of people are saying they like this. A lot of people are looking at this now to go into the Leomon deck with the Fortitude stuff. Obviously, the only issue is now it's an ace card, so you have to be careful about cracking your own ribs. Then we have access to Cinderellamon, who's a much better Cinderella than the original one, in my opinion. Overclock Puppet. You can delete a token or a puppet traded Digimon to stop this from leaving the battlefield. Start of your main phase, when Digivolving, you may play one familiar token. A Digimon that's yellow with 3,000 DP with on deletion. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. Woohoo. And then when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP for the turn. Again, this is not once per turn, so if there are ways to unsuspend Cinderella in the deck, then you can keep reducing that DP. Going into what I'm super looking forward to now, the Green Birdo Boy of the generation. Your turn, when this Digimon will Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Bird or Avian trait in one of its traits, reduce the Digivolve cost by 1. Awesome, because I believe Galmon here is a 2 cost, which means it's a 1 cost. I think they're all 2 costs, which is pretty good. And then there's also other Avian types you can Digivolve into, but you can generally just run the green stuff now and not have to worry about the subtypes of Burbs. And also return when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, gain the memory, which is really good for a level 3, because that's normally something you find like a level 4 or level 5. And then Gale, when Digivolving kill 1 or less Tamers, you may play Shoto from your hand without paying the cost. Again, as I spoke about earlier, there's 3 Shotos now. I believe 2 of them combo with each other to make the deck a bit better. So if you have to hard play one like turn 1 just to be able to pass the turn, and then you get to a Galmon, and you got another one in hand, it's generally going to be a good time or a good idea to get them out there and play the game more efficiently. And then, yeah, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, gain the memory. Not necessarily the best one in terms of effects, but this is something that we want to give piercing, we want to give it jamming. But be able to gain 2 memory back just makes your play at this point, if you go into level 3, probably like the cost of like 1 or 2. Really good. Monochromon, this is a dinosaur type, but it is specifically also the NSP type. There has no one-play effects, although it is a 4 cost, that's pretty good. It is only a 1 cost to Digivolve into from a level 3. But it has piercing as its inherited trait, so some of those level 5s can be getting a bit interesting, a bit spicy. So maybe a 1 or 2 of in the NSP deck if the NSP deck does take over. Then we go over to Grand Galmon. I do think we spoke about this one during the last time when we did look at the ST1819 stuff. So Grand Gal here has Vortex, which is at the end of your turn, this Digimon may attack an opponent's Digimon. This Digimon may attack with this effect the turn it is played. So Vortex is both Rush and Blitz. Or... yeah. Is it opponent or opponent's Digimon? First Digimon, so it's pseudo... it's class pseudo, but so it's Raid and Blitz, right? Raid and... it's Raid, Blitz and Rush. What a weird skill. That's how powerful we are now, guys, in Digimon. One keyword is now 3 keywords. When Digimon, you may suspend one Digimon if this effect suspends one of your Digimon. This Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon's effect until the end of their turn. Your turn must turn when this Digimon attacks an opponent's Digimon. You may unsuspend this Digimon. So I've gone on record saying that this line is basically green Jesmon, except it looks a lot better, but Jesmon doesn't have Tamers yet. If we ever do get Mon, then we'll see what Mon does. We'll see what one Mon does for the deck. Triceramon. On play, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It can't unsuspend until the end of their turn, which is fairly good. But if they got reboot, then it doesn't matter too much. And then all turns will turn when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash top card of the opponent's skill stack, which seems to be a very big dinosaur trait. Because the... I'm trying to think, what does this? So, Metal Triamon from BT11 does this as well. I think there's another dinosaur that also does the same thing, like, more recently. And then we have Green Jesmon. The Zaphajmon. I can't read this because it's right in the weird place where my camera is. Security attack +1 as well as Vortex. And then when Digivolving, when attacking, suspend one Digimon. Then, if this effect suspends one of your Digimon, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to one with their deck. I mean, that's a pretty good effect if you ask me personally. Be able to just remove your opponent's cards from the field, especially if that is a Digimon that is causing trouble. There's no level restrictions on that by the looks of it as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this deck. It's a very good deck. It looks and reads like the best green deck we've had for a long time, so I'm looking forward to this. Then we have a new level 7, which we've already seen, and he's very cool, he's very interesting, but we'll see how it really goes. DNA Digivolution from a green and yellow plus a black and blue. I think a lot of people looked at this and looked at it as it was going to be essentially possibly like a new Deva card. It was going to be the new boss monster for Saber Leo. And there was like I think there was another deck or two that was running around. I think it was good in the boss deck as well. Instead of having to use Chaos as your top end, you can use this top end. I'm sure there'll be more decks available. As you can see, it's an NSP. Yeah, it's an NSP traded monster. So it's obviously the top end for NSP. And as we've seen some of the NSP monsters already, the deck seems kind of cool. When Digivolving, you may play one Digimon card with the NSP trait and a play cost of 7 or less from your hand, not paying the cost. If DNA Digivolving, you may play up to 2 Digimon cards with different colours and the NSP trait and a play cost of 7 or less from your hand without paying the cost instead. Which is really good because you're generally going to be playing your level 5s out, which means that you're only 2 turns away probably from having a second one of these on the field. And then when Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, for the turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for each of your Digimon, and if you did DNA Digivolve this, which is probably what you did, that's at least like 3, so you're getting 21,000 minus DP on your Digimon on your opponent's side. It reads pretty cool. I want to see this do something. And then Godsamon has Blocker, and then it has Reboot as an inheritance effect, which is kind of cool. Makes it more useful than just like a level 3 blocker, which at 2,000 DP ain't going to do much. Then got Jazzamon. Start off your main phase by trashing one card with the Rock Dragon or Earth Dragon trait in your hand, draw a card and gain a memory. It's really interesting because we know this thing floats. It makes sense that you want to keep churning out the things that you don't need. But and then it gives you 2,000 DP on your opponent's turn, which makes sense because that's like the blocking side of the deck. Toigamon, Black Toigamon, on play by trashing one card with the 3 Musketeer traits in your hand, draw 2. I love these cards now. It took me a while to get into them, but I do like the idea of like throwing a card away that you don't need and then drawing 2 cards. It also has Reboot. It also has Reboot as well. And then Tortamon in black has Blocker, and the person when this Digimon can't be deleted by opponent's effects, which is really good. And then, although technically minus DP is still not an effect, it's a game mechanic, which is annoying because that's the thing I don't like. If it says effects, it should mean that DP reduction doesn't count as well, because your opponent's giving you that effect. and then reboot as a inheritable effect. Which, if you're already getting it from your level 3, I do wish they'd change it. Was like, this gives you reboot, this gives you blocker, this gives you such and such, you know, as you go up the line. DIGIMON. On play, by trashing one card with the Rock Dragon or Earth Dragon trait, you can draw 2. Alright, yes. Fair enough. When Digivolving, if you have one or less Tamers with the name of Hina in it, you may play one from the hand without paying the cost, which is pretty good. And again, opponent's turn, get an extra 2000 DP, so you become a chunkier boy. Tankmon. On play. When Digivolving, we're returning 3 cards with the 3 Musketeer traits from your hand or trash to the top of your deck. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then reboot. Too much reboot in this deck. Gigadramon. On play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, place one option card with the 3 Musketeers amongst them as this Digimon's bottom to the resource, and then return the rest of to the top or bottom of the deck. If this effect placed, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with or Tamers with a play cost of 3 or less. So that's pretty good at getting rid of things. I like the fact that it has collision as its bottom one here. A lot of people are saying like you don't need collision in Machinedramon, but I think it's an interesting tech choice. Even if it's just played as one off, which you probably want to play it as anyway. Because it just gives you more options, because if you can't get the BT8 Metal Greymon out to be able to just like swing into things, I think having the option to be able to just make things block you when you've got piercing is also a good idea. Jagamon. Good old NSP trait here. On play, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with the NSP trait gain blocker, which is pretty interesting if you do get the big guy out first, and then you get these out, and then all of a sudden you can start throwing out your level 3s, making more blockers. It's pretty cool. Jazurichmon. On play, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. And then when Digivolving, if your opponent doesn't have a level 5 or higher Digimon, gain a memory. Ooh, so if you go first, you can, you know, right? And then opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the target of that attack to this Digimon. Ooh. Aldoradimon. The fact he's just a black Digimon makes me very cute. If he was black-green, I think I'll be like, yeah, I'm on board for that, because the last Aldoradi we had, which was like BT7, or whatever it was, BT8, was green, so, you know, keep it in the family. But no, we're going for full-on black. Again, I feel like it should be 2 colours, but I don't know why I don't like it just being single colour. I think I'm so used to 2-colour Digimon now, especially as Megas. Blocker. On play, when Digivolving, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. You may play up to 7 play cost totals worth of Digimon cards with the NSP trait amongst them without paying the cost. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. End of your turn, once per turn, 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card with the NSP trait in your hand, which is pretty good. Now, my brain's trying to think of something very silly over here. Yes. So, Sablemon's a 7 cost. So, if you really wanted to and you're a crazy person, you can throw down 2 Sablemon's. Does it have an on-play? Yeah, it also has the on-play effect. Yeah, just go crazy. Gruntramon, that's blocker. On play, when Digivolving reveal top 6 cards of your deck, you may use one option card with the 3 Musketeer traits amongst them without paying the cost. Return the rest to the top or bottom of the deck. All turns when this Digimon with the 3 Musketeer traits would leave the battle area other than by your effects. By trashing one option card in this Digimon's distribution cards, they don't leave. So, similar to the Machinedramon effect, obviously Machinedramon has to dump 2, but you are generally putting a lot of sources underneath Machinedramon, whereas with Gundramon you're probably only getting like 2 or 3 sources the most. So, not awful. Metallic Dramon, very good Digimon. On play, when attacking, Digivolve 4 of one of your opponent's Digimon. Jesus. When Digivolving, none of your opponent's level 4s or lower Digimon can Digivolve until the end of their turn. Jesus. All turns was percent when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effects, you may play 1 Digimon card with the Rock Dragon or Earth Dragon traits from the trash without paying the cost. And this is why this is such a good side of it, because the red lets you play from hand, these let you play from trash. So what you're doing with this is you're essentially making your level 6 go into the trash early for the red side, if you can get the black side up soon enough. And then they die, you go into the red sources, you burn out all their Digimon, they try and get rid of you again, you then go, okay, I've got Metallic Dra in my hand, throw another Metallic Dra, and you just circle and circle and circle. And then these ones that have the on-play traits, you just turn your Hina sideways, and she just goes, okay, everything, just do that 4 times now. So, yeah, the Link Dragon deck could be an absolute ball ache when we get there, but I look forward to it. Impmon, your turn. When this Digimon would it Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait, reduce the Digimon cost by 1. Perfect. And also the fact that it goes into a Yanya for 1 cost is also just perfectly fine. And then your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP as a inherited effect. Unfortunately, that's the only Impmon we know of currently for its line. We don't know about the punk rock Garalmon or the stereo system Imp War Impmon, or we don't know anything about the guitar winged Mildred one. We'll know about that tomorrow, probably, because it makes sense, because the novel comes out tomorrow, and everything else will be the same. By the time this goes up, it probably will be tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Sparrowmon. Start of your main phase by placing one option card with the Three Musketeers traits from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom dilution card. Draw a card! Pretty good. Then Retaliation as its inherited effect. Then we have Tsukaimon, which I'm going to say is the better hamster that can fly. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Amongst them, add 1 copy of Livemon's text to the hand and trash 1 purple card. Turn the rest to the bottom of the deck. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks by deleting one of your other Digimon, end the attack. Which is pretty much what this deck wants to do now. On play, trash 1 card from your hand, and then you may return 1 Digimon card with the Evil, Dark Dragon, or Evil Dragon trait from your trash to the hand. This is support for the Impmon Line, as you can see, and then Retaliation as it's inherited. New Black Gatomon. When Digivolving on deletion by trashing 1 card in hand, 1 of your Digimon gains blocker and Retaliation till the end of your opponent's turn. Then opponent's turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may delete 1 of your other Digimon to end the attack, which is pretty darn good. Orochimon, who is also a Dark Dragon. Blocker on deletion, trash 1 card in your hand, then delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon, level 3 and level 4 Digimon. It's pretty good if you want to try and clear some stuff. Not necessarily great, it has Retaliation though as its inherited effect, but it is a card that you can use in the Impmon deck as it does share the trait of Dark Dragon, which can make things a bit easier. But generally go look at the other Dark Dragon stuff in the game to see like what you want to probably put in this. Ooh. Lady Devimon, X-Antibody. Not sure why she's a cat one, but there we go. When Digivolving for Lady Devimon, cost of 0. On play, when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gains at the end of attack deletes Digimon till the end of their turn. Then, if Lady Devimon or X-Antibody is in this Digimon's distribution card, you may play 1 Violi and Judrik. Digimon level 4 purple 5000 DP with blocker retaliation token, which I believe is this thing in the background here. And then opponent's turn, 1%, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from the trash without paying the cost, which is, yeah, pretty good. And then we go up into Bielstar Ace, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to. I think a lot of people got upset though that it doesn't carry on the whole level 7 thing, but it is what it is. Hand counter blast dilution, and then on play, when Digivolving, return 1 option card from your trash to the hand. Then you may use 1 option card with the Three Musketeers traits in your hand without paying the cost. When taking 1 turn by trashing 1 option card with this Digimon distribution card, you may use 1 option card with the Three Musketeers traits in your hand without paying the cost. So, decent card. I think it's pretty good. It does basically null and void the old stuff that they do, the level 7 cost things, but give it the times, right? Purple Dog. Not our first Purple Dog. That's our second one. Trash. Main. If you have 4 of your cards in hand, you may play this card from your trash without paying the cost. With the play cost reduced by 4, so you are paying 7. And then blocker on deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with a Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait from your trash without paying the cost, which is fair enough, but you'd have to see like how the deck wants to work. I'm not too sure if this would be a good secondary level 6 or, like I said, DIGIMON. But you'd have to be playing like Gilmon stuff as well, so maybe. Although the new DIGIMON Ace is very good, so maybe, who knows. Then Lilith X-Antibody all turns 1% when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than in battle. If Lilith or X-Antibody is in this Digimon distribution cards, by deleting 1 of a Digimon it doesn't leave. Then all turns 1% when another Digimon is deleted. If it's your turn, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from the trash without paying the cost. If it's your opponent's turn, trash the top card of their security stack. Very good. Arise. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory, and then all turns, when 1 of your tokens or Digimon with the puppet trait is deleted by suspending this tamer, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost. And this is why people are saying like the Chessmon line will be really good here. Which is your door. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. End of your turn, by suspending this tamer, 1 of your Digimon gains piercing and blocker till the end of your opponent's turn. If it has the Vortex Warrior trait, unsuspend it. I know, obviously, this is because it interacts with Vortex, the key word, because that's what the piercing is here. I feel like it misses timing. Maybe it won't miss timing because they go like, no, you can still swing it because the end of turn, so you can somehow layer the interaction together, but I feel like if you try and swing with Vortex or getting the piercing from this, you won't be able to unsuspend because you have to attack after the effect resolves. Correct? I think that's right. Maybe. Oh. Looks good though. Yucky! Start your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon out, gain a memory. It's very, very common, this effect now. Main, if you have 4 of your cards in your hand by suspending this Tamer, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon trait in the trash. If there's a way that this deck just like literally throws cards into the trash, I think we'll be fine. Chaos Triangularity. When an effect trashes this Digivolution card, one of your Digimon gets 3000 DP into the end of your opponent's turn. Or you have a Digimon card with the 3 Musketeers traits. You may ignore this card's colour requirement. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 9000 DP or less. For each of your Digimon with the 3 Musketeers traits with different names, add 3000 DP to the DP based deletion effect, maximum. Then, place this card as the bottom distribution card of one of your Digimon with the 3 Musketeers traits. It can get very big. It can do a lot of damage. I love the blam. Blah, 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 blah. Nice card. I think it will do very good as a removal option. Summon Frost. Main, trash the top 2 Digivolution cards of all of your opponent's Digimon. If this card effect didn't trash, you may play one level 4 lower Digimon card with a Ice Snow trait from your hand without paying the cost. Then none of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can attack until the end of their turn. Very high costing. That's the issue of, like, I think the last one was also like a 6 or 5 cost as well. It could be like a 1 or 2 of in the deck, as it does have a good idea of like making it so your opponent can't swing the following turn, so they have to basically spend over their stuff to get back to your turn. Maybe could be useful. And then Wonder Stamp, main, draw 1, then you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost. The fact that this is a 2 cost, it gives you a draw and literally play like essentially a 3 cost body. That's value down. I don't know if you'll play it, but it's value down. Wind Slicer, you may suspend 1 level 6 lower Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, suspend one of your Digimon. 2 cost to suspend something. I think that is kind of within reason, especially if you want to like suspend one of your opponent's Digimon because it's going to be the end of your turn now, and then you get to do some piercing. Der Blitz. When an effect trashes this Digivolution card, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Or you have a Digimon card with the 3 Musketeers traits. You may ignore this card color requirements. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. Then place this card as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Digimon with the 3 Musketeers traits. Security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. Very good card. Hurricane Screw Shot. When an effect trashes this Digivolution card, gain 1 memory. Or you have a Digimon card with the 3 Musketeers traits, you may ignore this card's color requirements. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 3, level 4, and level 5 Digimon. Then place this card as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your Digimon with the 3 Musketeers traits. Security effect is the same as the main effect, very good. Then we have 7th Fascification. Trash, your turn. When your Digimon Digivolves until leave max antibody, by returning this card to the bottom of the deck. Activate this card's main effect. Main effect, all of your opponent's Digimon gain at the end of turn. Delete one of your Digimon to the end of their turn. Security, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Very good, very good. And then we have Bailstar X Antibody as one of the secret rare cards, which is wild because we've never had a new Digimon put into a deck and then having its X Antibody at the same time. Not the first X Antibody secret rare though. We did have Omnimon X Antibody secret rare once, a long time ago. Digivolve level 6 with the 3 Musketeers traits without the X Antibody trait cost of 1. When Digivolving, you may use one option card with 3 Musketeers in this text from your hand without paying the cost. When Digivolving, when attacking, by trashing 2 cards with the 3 Musketeers traits in this Digimon's Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level and trash the top card of their security effect. Not once per turn. This can be very powerful, and hope you like Blast Mode from the Structure deck. And then finally, that's the last card we have for today, as I will add in stuff from tomorrow. Vortex Resonance. If you have a Digimon or Tamer with the Liberator's trait, you may ignore this card's colour requirement. Thank God, because it's a free coloured card. Main, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the Liberator trait amongst them to the hand. Return to the rest of the bottom of the deck. Then, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card in your hand with the Devolution cost reduced by 4. People are saying this is a terrible card. It costs 3. You get to look at the top 3 cards, add a card to hand. you can play this as a way of getting out a cheaper evolution, especially in a deck like the Vortex one. It goes, sod it, it's end of turn, go slap someone in the back of the head. You get to Digivolve for a cost. You get to reduce the cost by 4 essentially, which means that you can do any of your level 5s for a reduced cost. So yeah, this is basically going to be great. If you go up into Mega here, wherever he is, he costs 4, which means you saved a memory. Not a bad card, good card. And then security effect. You may play 1 card with the Liberator's traits with play cost of 4 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then add this card to hand. Now currently we don't have access to the level 4 here, but I do believe that you are a Liberator trait, which you are, which means that your level 4 will probably be a forecast. We know you're a forecast, and I bet you're a forecast. They are. Which means that any of these currently are free to play. Luckily, not an on-play trait. Not an on-play trait, luckily. And then we don't know about the Impmon Line. For now. Now, I do wonder if we had some of the ones in the past that were on-play effects, which means they're also forecast, so it's not so bad. And they're going to be Liberator traded. And obviously, we go into the future, we get the other decks from the other Tamers? I don't know if we call them Tamers anymore. I know we call ourselves Tamers, but are they also Tamers? Digimon card enthusiasts in the future. But as of now, this is goodbye, and you'll probably see a clip of me going forward into the future, or it's me reading out what happened probably midday on Thursday, and I'm going to try and get this video out as quick as possible. So, we'll catch you guys soon. Mwah! See you in about 3 seconds. Peace out. Good day, Tamers. As we knew, we're going to get the stuff from the Impmon Line today, as well as an alt art. It all got dropped at once, and then some other stuff got announced, so I'll do a video about that later, maybe for tomorrow. Punkmon is the name of the level 4 in the Impmon Line. So, for Digivolving from an evil traitor Digimon, Impmon, when Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Yuki from your hand without paying the cost. Very good, makes sense, that's what all the level 4s are currently doing. And then your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP for the turn. Fantastic. Very simple, very good. I'm coming around to the design point. I'm not 100% sure if I do like it or not, but I don't dislike it. We have Loudman, which makes sense because it's a giant speaker box. Digivolve from a level 4 Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon for a cost of 3. Good, I like that. And then on play, when Digivolving trash 2 cards in your hand, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7000 DP or less. As you may have noticed, this whole archetype looks to revolve around you having 4 or less cards in hand, which is really interesting because a lot of things out there want you to have more than that in your hand. So we'll see how that goes for meta relevancy in the future. In your turn, where you have 4 or fewer cards in your hand, all of your Digimon with the Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon traits against Critical 1, which is very interesting, as we've seen there's like 4 costs level 4 dragons, Dark Dragons or Evil Dragons you can throw down. So going forwards, this could be a way of just essentially swarming your board and then swinging in, doing a lot of damage in the future. And then last but not least, we have Heavy Metal Dramon. Digivolve from level 5 Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon for a cost of 4, which is pretty good. I'm never a fan of this costing here that we have, the 5 cost here, because it just reminds me more so of DIGIMON. And then when Digivolving, trash 2 cards in your hand, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the cost with much DP or less than this Digimon, which is 13k, pretty good. And then end of your turn was returned, you may play 1 card with the Evil Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon traits in the traits and play cost of 8 or less from the trash without paying the cost. And then for each card in your hand, remove 1 of the costing effects maximum. So 4, go to 4, well, let's say you got 4 cards, so you go 4, 4, take away 4. You got 3, go to 5, 2, go to 6, 1, go to 7, 0, go to 8. The fact that this is 8, 0 cards seems okay, I guess. To me, it'd be like, if you've got 4 or more cards, reduce the cost by 1, maybe. Sorry, increase the difficulty of playing a card. Maybe that makes more sense to me rather than this, because the whole idea of this deck, you want to have 4 cards constantly. So it sounds like now you've been punished for having 4 cards, but maybe it's just me overthinking things. But it'd be quite interesting to see what this deck can do. Looks like I'm actually looking forward to. I do love Impmon, and I do love Guilmon, as we already know. As you can tell by everything from my channel, is all Guilmon sort of related. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I hope you guys are as well. Catch you guys shortly, and we should see the alternate art for this later in the day. I'll probably do a short about all the alternate arts for this set in the near future. So, ciao for now, Tamers.